What if I made the world's greatest hide and seek video game ever? But in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to make some serious changes to the game in its current state. So for any of you new watchers out there, I've been working on a hide and seek video game with cute chameleons. I decided to call it We Hidden because I thought it would stand out pretty well since it is about a game about hiding. Now I do feel like I owe you guys an apology since it has been a very long time since I posted an update or devlog about We Hidden. But there's a good reason for that, because over the summer I was working on a side project that took a while, but it was all worth it. And you guys can actually go check that video out right here. But anyway, let's get back to the video. So in We Hidden, there's been a few changes. Now that there's no killing in the game had to revert back to a state of basic hiding and seeking. In order for you to get knocked out of the match, I thought it would be simple for the seeker to basically just tag the hiders. So I quickly rushed over to my sketchbook and tried to figure out how I wanted the tag animation to look. Since a lot of inspiration for this game came from a game called Sort of Ditto, I wanted a fast moving swipe type of animation. So I came up with this and it's actually not looking too bad. Now the focus of this animation is all supposed to be in the handwork. Speaking of handwork, this actually makes me really think about how this game really needs a little bit more cover art and I need to improve on my drawing skills. So here's some artwork that I've been working on as I've been developing the game. What do you think? And also give your boy a follow on Instagram. So now that I know what I want the animation to look like, I can get started and open up Adobe Illustrator. I'm not sure exactly how common it is, but I use a mixture of Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop to actually make some of my animations and other drawings. Now that I have all the pieces I need to actually make the animation, I can drag them into Unity and open Unity's animation tab and start working on it. Now the first time I attempted this animation, it didn't come out quite right. I mean, geez, it almost looks like Buggy from One Piece with all the body parts separated like that. Only true anime fans will understand that. But anyway, the important thing is I tried again and it actually came out much better this time. Okay, so now that the animation is actually working, we can use the seeker to actually go up to hiders and tag them out. What's great about this is that the seeker actually has very cool ass abilities that he can use to tag you out. The first power that the seeker has is invisibility, which I think is amazing. And it really complements the chameleon since it is a great animal at camouflage. I plan on giving the chameleon 3 types of abilities. The first one is invisibility, as you already know. Now the second one, I will give you a hint. So, what do you think of this? Does this give you an idea of what the second ability might be? Eventually, I knew I was going to face a problem when developing this game. The issue was, I've been trying to make a hide and seek game and I have not played hide and seek ever since I was a young child. Now, I am 25 years old. What do I look like playing hide and seek with a bunch of According to children, it brings them immense happiness and joy because they find it exciting when they re-find something they think that is lost. Now, I know this does sound ridiculous, but this did actually help me get a better idea of how the game should be developed. Now, not only did I have fun while playing this game, but I also got a better idea of how I should develop the game now. The first thing I learned is that I can actually add more objects and more hiding spots to the game. The second thing I learned is there's different variations of how to play hide and seek. The first variation of hide and seek I'm focusing on is something called HOMEBASE. This variation adds an extra challenge to hide and go seek. The hider doesn't only just hide, they actually have to get back to home base without being tagged, while the seeker is seeking. They will have to come out of hiding and risk their safety. This is something my game desperately needed, so I quickly got to work. Now, the first thing I started modifying was the timer. So once the timer reaches about the halfway mark, I set off a trigger that sets off some UI that will let you know that the player needs to quickly reach home base. And then another timer pops up that lets you know how much time you have before you can reach home base. And if you don't reach home base, then sadly you are disqualified. Now, because currently there is no actual multiplayer, you're playing against AI, so I had to tweak around with the AI for a bit. Originally, the AI was actually programmed to move to all the jobs that they were supposed to do and then go to their hiding spot, all without getting caught. So it was actually pretty simple to change their nav mesh agent and change their destination from their hiding spot to the home base. Now, all the other players actually tried to reach the home base as well. I feel like this would look much better once multiplayer would be added in the game, but for now, it's actually looking not half bad. Now, before I move on, there's something new I want to try out, so it's poll time. Which game skin do you like best? A or B? feel free to leave a comment down below or join the Discord and take a vote. Now let's get back to the video. Here's the last thing I decided to add to my hide and seek indie game. I have a question for you guys. How do you guys feel about lighting? Me personally, I love it. It helps us do lots of things. Now, what if we had 2D lighting in the game, but we use darkness as the advantage? One of the reasons that I love Unity now is because of the new changes that keep getting updated, which means we have better quality of games. So the main reason that I was actually able to add 2D lighting in the game is because of the big change in the graphic settings. And then after that, all I had to do was change the scriptable renderer pipeline settings to universal, and then I could start adding some actual light to the game. This was actually the really easy part because all I had to do was add a 2D light to it and set the light type to global so that way it would light up our entire map. The next important thing was actually giving the player chameleon a 2D light as well. But the difference is the light type has to be point. So it actually took me a while before I figured out how I wanted the outer radius and inner radius of the light to be so that way the character doesn't look too off-putting. Okay, so now the character looks much better playing hide and seek in the dark. Now the only thing is, there's an issue when it runs into certain objects. I wanted the light around the character to actually warp and stop giving off light in certain areas when it runs into, I don't know, say trees, statues, and various other objects. So all I had to do was add a Shadowcaster 2D component to certain objects and it actually warps the light of the character. And that's all I've got done for the moment. So stick around for the next episode where I actually reveal the next variation of hide and seek. So I'll see you guys in the next video.